Chat. I'm your host, Nizzy. And in this video, you guys, we're going to be going through NFL Week 17 game picks here. 2 weeks left in the NFL season, you guys. It's getting down to crunch time to see which teams are going to be able to make a playoff berth this season. There's still a lot of teams in the hunt in the AFC right now. The NFC is kind of more so decided. There's a couple teams on the outside looking in that might have an opportunity in the NFC. Teams like the Vikings. Still got a chance there if they can win out the rest of their season, get some losses from some other teams. But over in the AFC, you got a bunch of teams sitting at 8-7. They all got a good opportunity to make the playoffs here over the next couple of weeks. Should be some good games coming up, you guys. Right, real quick before we start breaking down the games this week, if you go ahead and like this video, if you like sporting content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. I've been getting a lot of support lately, you guys, and I greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep coming out with as much content as possible for you guys. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start breaking down these game picks going into Week 17, you guys. Ended up finishing off last week with a 9-7 record, a couple games above 500. Not our best week by any means, but glad we were able to keep it above 500 anyways. Sitting at a 145-90 record for our season here, you guys, plus 55 overall on the season. So pretty nice in that department. Hopefully we can have another good week here rounding off the season. Obviously, there's only 2 weeks left here, you guys. So hopefully we can keep running strong. We'll start off with some of the Sunday early matchups. Obviously no Thursday night game here the last couple weeks of the season. They removed the Thursday night game, so that's all finished up for the year. I believe there's one more Monday night football game coming up on Monday, and then after that it's all Sunday football coming up next week in the final week of the season, you guys. So like I said, start off with the Sunday early games. Dolphins versus Titans is the first one on the slot here. I know the Dolphins have been on a hot streak. Obviously, they finished off that game against the Saints there. The Saints had to start Ian Book. They're dealing with a lot of protocol issues as well as injuries right now. So it was kind of expected for the Dolphins to be able to go out there and win that game. You know, the Titans are still looking pretty good without Derrick Henry. They've been able to hold first place in their division without him. I expect them to be staying strong, especially with the Colts on their heels right now. I think the Dolphins' winning streak is going to come to an end. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Titans in this game, you guys, 24-17, the final. Then we got the Falcons versus the Bills here. I think this should be not a super easy game for the Bills, but definitely a winnable game for the Buffalo Bills here. I think the Falcons are going to be in over their heads. I believe the Falcons are sitting at 7-8 on their season, so they got to win out the rest of the season, have some other teams lose in the NFC for them to have an opportunity to make the playoffs. I definitely don't think they're going to be in it this year. So I think the Bills are going to be able to take this game, especially with the importance of having that first in their division, winning their division against the Patriots. They're going to have to win a couple of these games down the stretch here to make sure they win their division against the Patriots. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bills 30-21 over the Falcons, you guys. Then we got the Jaguars versus the Patriots here. This should be a blowout game in my opinion. We all know how Bill Belichick handles rookie quarterbacks. Obviously, they've been in shambles all year, dealing with their all the drama with their head coach Urban Meyer, who's now no longer with the team. Patriots have been kind of stumbling the last couple of weeks here. I expect them to have a big-time bounce-back game. This is a perfect game for them to get right. Especially with the last couple of weeks of the season, they're going to want to turn things around, get a little more confidence under their belt here heading into the playoff stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Patriots in a blowout over the Jaguars, you guys, 35-14, the final. Then we got the Raiders versus the Colts here. Now, this one's a tough one to pick, you guys. Obviously, news came out the other day there that Carson Wentz is in protocols right now. But they did change the amount of isolation you got to spend from 10 days down to 5. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to clear protocols by Sunday. I believe they found out the news on Tuesday. So I believe, if I'm right, I think Sunday will be his 5th day. So he'll probably have to miss this game, Carson Wentz will. So that's why it's such a tough one to pick, because obviously missing their star quarterback, it gives the Raiders that much better of an opportunity to steal one away from the Colts here. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game in this one, especially if Carson Wentz isn't able to play. But I still trust the Colts. I trust the Colts' run game enough to be able to get the job done. I think Jonathan Taylor can get in the end zone once or twice. That offensive line is still nasty. I think if the Colts can just dominate the time of possession, and that defense is so stout, I could see them easily holding the Las Vegas Raiders to a low amount of points, especially if they get Darius Leonard back here in the fold. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Colts, even if Carson Wentz doesn't start this game, you guys, in a low-scoring, tight game, 14-10 over the Raiders. Then we got the Bucs versus the Jets. Here's another blowout game, in my opinion, you guys. I don't give the Jets any chance in this one. These are the crunch time games at the end of the season here where you're playing for playoff positioning. Tom Brady's not going to be lackadaisical going into this game. He's going to want to whip their ass. Obviously, he's got the Jets' number being in the same division as them for all those years with the Patriots. So I expect that same trend to continue. Tom beating down on the Jets, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Bucks 33-10 over the Jets here. Like I said, I expect this one to be a big time blowout for the Bucks. So then we got the Rams and the Ravens, you guys. This should be a real good game. Obviously, the Rams are locked into a playoff position right now. We're just not too sure about if they're going to take over their division or if Arizona's going to be able to climb back and win the division here, if they're going to be a wild card team, what's going to happen with all that. So it's still a big game for the Rams. If they want to hold on to the division, they're going to have to win out the season pretty well here or get some luck and have Arizona lose a couple of their last games here. I believe Lamar Jackson's going to be back for this one. That's going to be huge for the Ravens if they do get him back. It's been an up and down season for the Ravens. Obviously, they've been absolutely marred by injury. Their defense is really struggling as of late with the injuries that they've been dealing with to their secondary. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams, you guys. This one's pretty much a pick'em game. It's going to be a tough matchup all around. I just think the Rams are going to be able to edge them out here just barely in this one. So I'm going to go take the Rams over the Ravens, you guys, 28-24, the final score. Then we got the Eagles versus the Washington football team, you guys. Eagles are looking like they're primed to make the playoffs here if they can keep it rolling over the last couple of weeks. Washington's kind of fallen off a cliff here in the last 2-3 weeks. Haven't been playing very good football as of late. I don't see anything changing in that aspect, really. I think the Eagles are going to be coming in hungry and poised, to make their push to the playoffs here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles in that game, you guys, 27-21 over the Washington football team. Then we got the Giants versus the Bears here, a battle of two teams that don't matter, worth nothing right now. They're both eliminated from playoffs already. Both disappointing seasons for both franchises here. The Giants were supposed to be taking that big next step forward this season. They did not take any steps forward. Had an atrocious season, marred with injury as well as bad play from multiple positions. Same with the Bears. I mean, it looks like Matt Nagy's last couple of games of the season here, and it looks like they're going to be moving on from him at the end of the year. Tough season all around for both these squads. I'm going to give the edge to the Bears in this one just because of home field advantage as well as all the injuries to the Giants right now. Not too sure who they're going to have starting at quarterback come Sunday. So I'll take the Bears in a close one, low-scoring game, 21-17 over the Giants, you guys. And then the last Sunday early matchup, we got the Chiefs and the Bengals here. This should be a phenomenal game as well, you guys. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. Even though the Chiefs' defense has stepped up in the last few weeks here, I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair in this one. I think the Bengals, definitely are going to want to try and hold on to their division here, so they're going to be scrapping and fighting to win this game. This is going to be a big-time matchup, a matchup that you could possibly see in the playoffs as well. But I like the Chiefs in this one, you guys. They've been on a hot streak as of late. I think the Bengals are going to give them a run for their money in this game, but I think the Chiefs are just going to be able to hang on with an extra touchdown late in the game, and Patrick Mahomes is going to lead his team to victory in this one, you guys. So I'm going to take the Chiefs 35-30 over the Bengals in this one. Then we got the Sunday afternoon matchups, you guys. We got the Broncos and the Chargers, a little divisional matchup here. Once again, both teams fighting for their playoff lives right now. I'm going to give the upper hand to the Chargers in this game, you guys. I just think that they're going to be a little more hungry than the Broncos. I think they got the better squad, obviously the better quarterback right now. I think Justin Herbert's going to have a gem of a game here and lead his team to victory over this Broncos squad. So I'm going to take the Chargers 27-20 over the Broncos in that one, you guys. Then we got the Texans and the 49ers. Surprising win from the Texans last week. 49ers, obviously, I think Jimmy G is going to be done for the rest of the regular season at least. I believe he's got a broken thumb and some torn cartilage in his thumb there. So it should be Trey Lance's start here coming up against the Texans. I think it's going to be a closer game than people expect, but I just think with the 49ers in that playoff spot right now, they're going to be just grinding away, trying to maintain that wild card positioning. Obviously, the Texans have no shot at making the playoffs this year, so you got one team that's on the outside looking in and one team that's fighting for their playoff lives. So I just think the 49ers defense is going to step up big time for them. I think Trey Lance is going to give them enough juice on offense just to be able to hang on for the victory. So I'm going to take the 49ers 24-14 over the Texans, you guys. Then we got another huge fucking game here. Cardinals and Cowboys. This one should be an outstanding matchup here. Obviously, the Cardinals have been falling at the wayside as of lately. Haven't been playing very good football the last few weeks. Have really fallen off a cliff, kind of similar to last season. They had a really good start last year as well, and then just kind of fell by the wayside in the second half of the season. Same kind of deals happening here in the last few weeks of the season. They have not been playing well. Cowboys are the exact opposite. They've been playing phenomenal football the last few weeks. I think it's going to be a close one. I think the Cardinals are going to bounce back here. I think after that huge blowout the Cowboys had over the Washington football team, I think they're going to be coming in a little bit cocky, a little bit overconfident. Especially knowing that the Cardinals haven't been playing their best football as of late. the Cardinals are going to want to get back on track before the playoffs start here. So I think they're going to be able to just squeeze out a tight win over the Cowboys here. Final score 31-28 for the Cardinals, you guys. Then we got the Lions and the Seahawks. I really wanted to pick the Lions in this game for the upset, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks, man. I can't see Russell Wilson botching this one against the Lions squad. Jared Goff is still questionable to return with a knee injury, so they might have Tim Boyle starting once again for them. So yeah, I don't know. The Seahawks should be winning this game, especially with Russell Wilson at the helm, just to get a little bit of positive flow going inside the building there. They haven't had a good season, obviously, going to be missing the playoffs this year. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Seahawks over the Lions, you guys, 24-14, the final score there. Then we got another game between the Panthers and the Saints, the last Sunday afternoon matchup here. Obviously, the Saints want to bounce back after a couple tough weeks. No touchdowns in the last two games, even though they did beat the Tampa Bay Bucks 2 weeks ago. They beat them 9-0 off of 3 field goals. And then obviously losing last week to the Dolphins, only getting the 1 field goal there. Tough go for Ian Book. Not too sure who they're going to have as their starting quarterback for this game. Same with the Panthers. I'm not too sure if they're going to start Cam Newton or if Darnold's going to go in there or what's going to happen. But just a disappointing season for both these squads. Obviously, the Saints is not much you can do when you're dealing with that many injuries, especially your main quarterback goes down. Panthers had a good start at 3-0 to the season and just fell off a cliff and have not been able to recover ever since. Saints have a small chance of making it here if they can win the last 2 games and a bunch of other teams lose, but I don't give them a high chance of making the playoffs whatsoever. But I do think they're going to be able to edge out the Panthers here on their home field, get a win finally, get a few touchdowns this game as they haven't scored a touchdown in a couple games. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints, you guys, over the Panthers, 21-17, the final in that one. Then that leaves the Sunday night matchup, Vikings and Packers, man. Big time game here for the Vikings, obviously. They need to win out their season to have a chance to make the playoffs. Packers are going to want to win a couple games here to clinch that first seed in the NFC, get a bye week in the first week of the playoffs there. Should be a good one all around here. The Vikings always play us tough here. I'm a Packers fan, so I know the Vikings very well. They always play the Packers really tough. Obviously, they beat us, I believe it was 34-31 in the first game of the season there. Ended up pulling off the upset. So I think the Packers bounce back and get a victory, tying off the season series 1-1 here. And I think the Packers are going to take this one 31-24 over the Vikings team, you guys. And then that leaves us the Monday night matchup, another divisional game here. The Browns and the Steelers, both teams fighting for the playoff lives. Both teams need to win out their season to have an opportunity here. The Steelers got absolutely trounced by the Chiefs last week. The Browns, obviously, Baker threw 4 picks against my Packers last week. Had a rough outing on Christmas Day there. I think the Browns are going to bounce back in this one. I think they got more to play for right now. I think Ben Roethlisberger's in his own head about retirement. He's not been playing that great of football lately. And it's just the end of the season. I think he's starting to wear down and tire out, and I think this Browns squad is still hungry. The Browns still have a chance at winning their division if they can win out and the Bengals lose out, as well as the Ravens lose out. So there's still an opportunity for the Browns, man. I think the Browns are going to take this game in a close one over the Steelers, 27-24, the final score, you guys. That wraps up the NFL Week 17 game picks. Hopefully we can have a positive record again this week. We'll have to see what happens. Would love your guys' opinion in the comments section down below. Who are you picking in this week's slot of games coming up in the second last week of the season in the NFL, you guys? Once again, you guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and every video on my channel. Please go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Thanks again for watching, you guys, and this is Nidji with Sports Chat.